wanted to make a note of these markings on the can. Top number is 8345003, and then very faint N or M -4105-H, third row 193A space 85 space P. I'm planning on painting all of the steel parts that I could find that are on the outside of the air pack and that can rust. This bleeder screw is one of the things. This fitting right here, I do believe is steel. It's heavy enough to be steel. So I don't really know what this part is called, but it was rusty. It was green and rust was its color, and I have plugged up every opening where fluid normally flows. And I'm planning on painting it on both sides. So I've got this back area, masked where I don't want paint to get. And then I'm going to use rust converter. I've got this whole part resting on the area that I had masked. So stuff on the bottom side that was not in the masked area, I was able to go ahead and paint. And then I flipped it over, and it is exclusively resting on the masked part. Here's the last part that I am cleaning up. It is the J-tube, and I took it to my wire wheel in my garage and knocked all the rust and paint off of it. The paint comes off real easy. Everything else looks to be brass or aluminum, so I do not think those things need to have rust converter sprayed on them. But these things, everything here is steel, and I am hitting it all with a layer of rust converter. A couple more things about my little piston here. I did end up using a wire brush to get some, it could have been really dried up petroleum jelly that was stuck kind of in these grooves and stuff, but now I've got it real clean. It feels great. But I did want to mention there's a little notch right here in this ring. Now, because the rubber is what actually contacts the walls, it's not that big of a deal. But it doesn't appear to be damaged. It appears to just be a little notch that was in the piston, and I just thought that was interesting. I've got gasket residue on here, and so what I thought I might try is taking this sandpaper, which is 180 grit, and just putting this down on here and just rubbing it around. Oh, look at that. And so I'm getting some flattening actually by doing this. Very predictably, the areas where the bolts are have been pulled down through the years, and so this face is actually a little bit distorted. So this is like crude machining right here. It really reveals just how warped the surface was. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do it a little bit more. Okay, so I've got to be happy with that. It's a nice, flat, smooth surface. And I'm going to quit it right there. I've got kind of a crusty feeling right there on this piece. So I'm going to try the same exact technique. Got to have a flat surface under the sandpaper. Okay, that looks good to me, and it feels good, most importantly. So I'm going to stop right there on that guy. Your finger can kind of be your guide on, how much cleanup to do, or when to start, when to stop, and when something needs it. I was looking at this piece. I thought I was done with this piece, but I was feeling this surface, and it was rough. It wasn't smooth, and I know how to smooth it out. And you see some interesting things. Like, look how the bolts have pulled the corners down, and these areas in between are kind of like high spots. So I'm going to do this more. It's like a primitive form of machining, but I would like it to be flat. Okay, now I'm getting wear even in the low spots. This is my standard. I am good enough. I'm going to stop right there. Anyway, I thought I could just use the sandpaper to get the rust off real quick off of this guy. Maybe he gets a coat of black paint before I put this thing back together.